Hey guys, today we're going to be reading Better Than You. Alright. My neighbor Jake can be a real jerk, always letting me know that whatever I do, he can do better. Don't get me wrong, Jake is great at practically everything he does, especially sports. Me, not so much. I mean, I know I'm good at writing stories and playing the guitar, but when it comes to basketball, I have to practice a lot just to be a decent player. The jerky side of Jake first started to bug me when I was trying to learn how to do a layup. For weeks, I'd been working on leaping, aiming, and shooting like an NBA star. I even got my older brother Iggy's help. I was so excited when I could finally do it that I went over to Jake's house to show him. "Hey, Tyler, what's up?" said Jake. "Check this out. I can do a layup." After I showed him the move, he grabbed the basketball from me and said, "Yeah? Well, I bet you can't do this." Then Jake did a perfect hook shot. He couldn't just say, "Cool, Tyler," or "Great job, you nailed it." Nope, he had to outdo me. Who am I kidding, I thought. I'll never be great at basketball. Why even bother trying? All right, I want us to pause and think. So Tyler is the boy narrating the story, and I almost feel like he's talking to me. Do you feel the same way? I also want you to think about the language the author uses on the first few pages. What are ways she makes Tyler's voice seem real? Go ahead and pause the video and think about that. Last Tuesday morning, I was in the middle of showing Cherise my new music player when Jake came over. "What's that?" he asked. "It's a sound launch," replied Cherise. "Tyler just bought it." "You're kidding! A sound launch? You should have gotten a Turnage 300, said Jake. Then he went on and on about all the great things his music player could do that mine couldn't. I just stood there thinking of all the places I'd rather be than right there with Jake. All right, I want us to pause and look at the illustrations on these pages and how they're related to the words on the page and this illustration. So how do the words and the photos match up with what's being said? Go ahead and pause and think about that. Today we had a math test. I hate math. It's my hardest subject. My hands get all sweaty and my brain turns to mush whenever I try to solve the problems. Do you want to know what was worse than taking that test? Having the teacher tell you that the kid to your right would be grading it. And since I sat next to Jake, he got to check my answers. "Geez, Tyler, I can't believe you got some of these problems wrong," he said. "This test was so easy. I must be like 5 times smarter than you in math." There should be a law that kids don't get to grade each other's tests. Stupid test. Stupid me. When I came home from school, I threw down my backpack, headed to my bedroom, and slammed the door. "Hey, Tyler," called Iggy from downstairs. "Uncle Kevin's here." When I didn't go say hi to Uncle Kevin, he came upstairs. Why are you holed up in your room?" he asked. I didn't say anything and just kept tossing my basketball in the air. "You know, Tyler, one of my favorite ways to get rid of the blues is to play them," he told me. All right, so in this reference, he said that he wants to get rid of the blues, so he plays them. The blues is a type of music, guys, just so you know. We went out to the front porch and started strumming away. Uncle Kevin was right. Playing the guitar did help me feel better, but it still didn't solve my problem with Jake. After a while, Uncle Kevin asked, "Did you have a tough day at school?" "More like a tough month," I grumbled. "My friend Jake's been getting on my nerves a lot lately. I know he's better than me at a bunch of stuff, but he doesn't have to rub it in my face all the time. I feel like such a loser when I'm around him." Uncle Kevin nodded as he strummed some more chords. Is Jake like this around your other friends too? I thought about it for a minute. I remembered hearing Carlos tell Oscar at baseball practice that he was sick of Jake's bragging. He thinks he's better than us, said Carlos. Yeah, what a show off, agreed Oscar. So it wasn't only me that Jake treated this way. The other guys were getting fed up with him too. Maybe it wasn't my fault after all. Maybe it had more to do with him than me. I shared this with Uncle Kevin, and he told me that people like Jake are a lot like puffer fish we saw at the aquarium last summer. They puff up their bodies to make themselves bigger than they actually are. It's a way of protecting themselves from potential enemies, he explained. But when a kid acts like a puffer fish, he takes up so much space that he can also push away his friends. Uncle Kevin suddenly stood up and shouted, "Make way for Pufferfish Man!" as she chased me around the porch. Mom almost had a heart attack when she came face to face with Pufferfish Man. I laughed so hard my sides were hurting. So Uncle Kevin compares Jake to a pufferfish. I want you to think to yourself what he means about this. What do you think about that comparison? That Jake is acting like a pufferfish. Think about that. After Uncle Kevin left, I biked to the schoolyard. When I got there, Jake and Nico, his new friend on my street, were on the field throwing a frisbee. Hey, I nodded in their direction. Can I play too? Sure, they both said. When it was my turn to throw the frisbee, I flicked my wrist and put a sweet spin on the disc, flinging it directly to Nico. Nice, said Nico. Thanks, I replied. And then Jake did what he does best. He puffed up. That's nothing, he said. Look what I can do. When it was Nico's turn, he did this amazing throw. Our eyes nearly popped out of our heads. Wow, that was awesome, I told Nico. Thanks, I could teach you how to do it. Really? Sure. Only if you show me how you did your throw. You bet. Then Nico turned to Jake. I can show you too if you'd like. Yeah, well, I know all the cool frisbee throws I need to know, said Jake as he started walking off the field. So, as I'm reading, I'm wondering why Jake would rather leave than stay with Tyler and Nico. What do you think? Pause and think about this for a few moments. When you're ready, you can unpause and continue the read aloud. I ran up to him and said, "Come on, Jake, don't go. So what if Nico throws better than us? He's cool. Let's just toss the frisbee around. It'll be fun." Nah, I'm out of here. You coming? I looked at Jake, then at Nico. No thanks. I'm going to stay here with Nico. Whatever, Jake muttered as he turned and headed home by himself. Nico and I took turns teaching each other different throws and ended up talking about all kinds of stuff. I found out that Nico just got a guitar for his birthday, so I offered to teach him to play. He thought that was a great idea. You know what? I have a feeling that Nico and I are going to be really good friends. So I want you to stop and think about the differences between the three kids. What could be some underlying reasons why Jake acts like he does? So go ahead and think about those differences between the kids. When you're ready, you can unpause and get back to the read aloud. Or I should say that we're at the end of the book, guys. So just think for a little bit. And I hope you enjoyed Better Than You with Miss Brown. Bye, guys.